Hi guys, Jake here from MGC, the UK's #1 grading company. I'm joined today by a very special guest. I've got Dev from Hobby FC. Dev, how are you doing today?
Yeah, I'm doing well, man. Thanks for having me. This is episode 1, no?
Episode
First
one.
one. Oh, there will never be another first.
There will never be a first.
So
I mean, we've done a few
oh.
tests.
Huh?
We've done a few tests.
I'm the first one.
First one here
on
today.
here. Yes,
So
love that.
we chose a big guest for the first one. So should be very, very good indeed. Dev, to start things off, what we want to do is a bit of a trend.
Yep.
We want to, when a guest comes in, they bring a card to grade with us. So
Yep.
we're going to grade it whilst the podcast happens.
Yep.
And then hopefully, if everything goes well, you get the card back at the end.
Yeah.
And we'll reveal it on the podcast there.
Yeah.
I can see you got a few.
Yep. And the first thing, I haven't put them in submission. I've just realized now I haven't put them in submission like slabs. Which is really
I mean,
annoying.
well, that's fine. That's fine. We accept in top loaders, in sleeves. You know, we take them any way we can.
That's actually helpful. I don't actually own any of the other
there you go.
grading sleeves.
You're all good.
So yeah, I've got 4. Like I just picked them up when I went home, and I couldn't. Even on the train, I was just there like flicking through. Like I must have looked like the weird. I was listening to what was I listening to? A song by Lloyd and Lil Wayne.
Okay.
Yeah. And I was looking at the countryside of Stevenage, beautiful place. And then I was literally just scamming through, looking at this, and I don't know what I must have looked like, but anyway, I've got 4 here. Who are 4 probably my favorite players of all time. Not necessarily my favorite cards, but my favorite players. And the era that they're from is something I can look at. So first one is that one there. So you got a Ruud van Nistelrooy.
That's nice.
I think this is from 2002.
Is that Merlin Premier Gold, is it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, so
Very
this
nice.
is his first season at United, the only time he wore short sleeves. So
Very
it
cool.
might be the goal he's celebrating might be his debut.
Did he always used to rock the long sleeves? Did
Always. Yeah, always. He changed his hair. Like, this is how much I'm Rude. If you're watching, I love you. He changed his hair in the second season.
Nice.
It was just after his injury. And then he went long sleeve straight after that.
Okay.
And this has got, I think I've just seen the decal. It's from the FA. It might be from the Community Shield. So it might be his first game.
Very cool.
So yeah, that one is a key. And you've also got this match attacks from Diego Forlan.
Very nice.
So it's one of the man of the matches from there. The reason I chose this low pop, I can't really remember any that have been graded. And Diego Forlan was one of my favorites as well, which is like no one rates him. I do, but no one rates him.
What's the? Do you just like long-haired strikers? Is that the kind of thing?
Yeah, you know, as a kid. So yes.
Yep.
So as a kid, like, I'm a United fan. In case I wasn't obvious, but I said to my dad, true story. Like, you know, when Liverpool had the Carlsberg shirts and like the proper, it was a nice red. It was really. I was watching a game and I said to my dad, like, "Oh, I'm thinking I might be a Liverpool fan." And he looked at me and said, "No, you're not." And he took me to Old Trafford like the next 2 weeks, and I watched Ruud play twice. He scored twice against Fulham, and I was a fan forever. But yeah, back then when you're a kid, it's about scoring goals, flamboyance, looking cool. That's why we all love Ronaldinho and all them. But Diego, for me, it was just like he barely scored, but when he did, they were good goals, all of them.
It's true.
And the hairband was nice. He was blonde.
I used to rock a hairband when I played football.
Did you?
Yeah, I used to rock a hairband. I used to think...
Diego had your...
Yeah,
you're
that's
a Spurs fan as well.
Spurs fan, yeah. So I had kind of long hair and stuff when I was a kid. And I used to, always kind of put it back. I went for the zigzag Alice band at one side. Then I went for the black strip one. I used to mix it up a little bit.
Yeah, fair enough. You went for it. But like, no, I love Diego. And he then went to... the World Cup 2010, I think, with the Jabulani, went massive there. So this is from that World Cup.
Nice.
This one, we were talking about him off camera, but one of my favorite strikers. If you played Pez back in the day, Adriano from, this is the World Cup 2006. So all of these are kind of basic cards. Like you've obviously got the 1-of-1s and all that, but I just kind of like the old school ones.
I think the story behind in terms of why you like them and you know, going back to that kind of nostalgia of watching them play and stuff like that, I think it's quite cool. You were telling me about Adriano at the moment, and I knew he was in a bit of trouble, but you were saying he's in the favelas and having a bit of a crazy time over there.
Yeah, importing firearms and women and other
fair dues,
narcotics, allegedly.
I
don't know. I wasn't there, but I think left foot of Adriano is like it'll go down in history, won't it? So, and it is just a shame because his dad passed away, and that's what sent him on the rails. But that version of Adriano for Inter and for Parma back then, loved him. And then you've got more of an updated card, which is the Henrik Larsson SPFL Auto. It's
another long-haired striker with an Alice band on.
But Henrik, I knew him when he was bald.
Yeah.
So either you're bald or you've got amazing hair. I don't like the in-between. So the bold, like, I love Eric Ten Hag, obviously, as my manager. Loved Henrik Larsson. I loved Samuel Eto'o, had a bit of bold.
Yeah.
Cambiasso.
What about Beckham when he had the Beckham long hair or Beckham short hair?
I knew Beckham at Real Madrid. I didn't know him too much at United.
With the long blonde hair?
Long blonde hair.
Oh, he looks so... And the oversized shirt.
Yeah, like the Siemens thing. Like, sounds cool. A bit wrong, but Siemens 23 Beckham. That's... But then you had R9, Ronaldo, old again.
Yeah.
So those are the two. But then you looked at, I don't know, who was a good player from the time I had normal hair? I want to say like Adrian Mutu. I know stuff happened to him.
Yeah.
I don't count him in the bold scenario.
Do you know my favorite player for Real Madrid was Guti.
Yeah,
I think he's so slept on,
so underrated. Guti,
yeah, and I used to think I looked like him. I didn't look anything like him. I had a bit
Did
of
you
long
play like him. What position were you?
Well, I started as right back.
Okay.
I actually started in goal.
More of a Michelle.
Then I went right back. Then I went right mid. Then I went up top. So I basically took every single position.
Yeah.
My dad was the manager.
Oh, got you.
So that helped. So I kind of told him where I wanted to play.
Yeah.
And then when we started getting good, I slowly started creeping onto the bench. So I was mainly on the bench then, and I'd come home and cry every single night. I said, "Dad, this is not fair." It is, it is. So,
but I used to play for. I trialed at a few clubs. So I'm from the Midlands.
Okay,
I trialed at Walsall once, didn't go well, and I trialed at a few other places, and I played for like my local team. But you've seen the size of me. Like, what position do you think I played? I'm not the biggest. I'm not the small. I'm like 5'10" and a half. But
I mean, you're in quite a good shape still. So I reckon maybe like centre mid, something like that. Maybe like a defensive midfielder.
Now I was a goalkeeper.
A goalkeeper?
Yeah. So I was fat as hell when I was younger. So I was literally
wide.
Yeah, wide as a start.
Nice.
But I was Neville Southall type.
Right. Okay.
So I was 106 kg when I was like 16 years old.
Wow.
And about 2 inches shorter. And they just took me in goal, but I could get around. So I was like the Dida of the team.
I would have never put you down as a goalie.
Yeah, no one does. Because I don't have the...
Well, no wonder Walsall didn't sign you, but...
Yeah. Do you know what happened, actually? It was the one... So I played really well for the majority of the trial. The one day that we were scheduled to play against the reserves and the manager came in to watch, we lost, I think it was 8-1. And I want to say about 6 of the goals were my fault. Because they noticed when they put the ball on top of me, it was like Vicario or De Gea, like I just wouldn't come out.
Yeah.
They just kept doing it. And I couldn't handle it.
Brutal, isn't it?
My centre-backs didn't help me. No one helped. I just couldn't do anything.
Yeah, that's not what you need.
I didn't have the confidence. Like, now I'm doing videos and all that. I didn't have that back then. So, but while I didn't have that, I just used to sit in my bedroom collecting cards. So, you know what? I've been thinking the whole
Also, all the players that you've gone for as strikers. So were you kind of sitting in goal a bit jealous of the strikers up top? Or was
it was because I played Football Manager.
Right.
And you always immediately just go for the 20 rated finishing striker. So Adriano, I remember, was 7. This was 2006. Football Manager 2006. Adriano was 18 finishing Inter Milan. Forlan was 15 when he went to Villarreal. Larson was 18 at Barcelona, and Ruud was 20 at United. Nice. And I used to try and sign them all.
That's some crazy knowledge.
I've
just got into Football Manager. I never played it as a kid. I've started. One of the guys in the office, Alex, his name is. He's big on it, and he's downloaded it on my phone. We were actually going to Kaboom for the trade night, and I spent the whole day with him already. And I was like, I just need a bit of chill out, mate. And he said, download Football Manager. So we're sitting on there. First season got relegated. Stevenage, local team. So
I didn't Warsaw, so
I didn't want to go for like Tottenham and like I've already made it.
Road to glory is so much more
so I thought I got relegated, but I have just had a move. I've just I think Reading.
Did you get sacked?
No, I didn't get sacked.
You didn't?
I don't know how. Like, I was terrible.
Sacked from Stevenage.
I literally did not get sacked by him. We got relegated, and then all of a sudden, Reading came in for me, and they were like, "We want you. You've got like a budget of like 7 million a year." And I was like, I'm taking that. Like, I'm not feeding off these scraps anymore that I've been getting, So I've got into that. Anyway, so we need to get these cards sent off for grading. Which one are we going to go for?
Well, we said this off camera, is it? It's the first time I've actually ever got a card graded by anyone.
That's cool.
And I'd feel weird if it wasn't Ruud. Favorite player of all time.
Yep.
I don't think this card will get the best grade, I'll be honest, because I have messed about with it quite a lot. But yeah, I think it's got to be this. Ruud's debut.
Perfect.
It's got to be that one there.
I think that's a really good point as well. Like, when it's your first card, I don't think the grade even matters.
It's PC.
Yeah,
I'll never let it go, will I?
It's in the personal collection. It's going to be protected for life. It's going to be kind of on display. It's just a nice thing to do. I think getting a first card graded is good. So what I'll do, I'm going to get this sent off to the grading. Cool. They're gonna hopefully grade it very well for you. We'll see what happens. Obviously, they might be a bit harsh,
man. That's such a nice card as well.
Yeah, I'll get that sent off for you, and then we'll go from there. Right, let me pass it over to the graders.
Cool. Do me nice as well. Like, I know it isn't going to get the best grade, But it's like, if you could, that'd be very nice of you.
We'll see what we can do.
He's got short hair. He changed it when he was. Come on, that's heritage.
Okay, so I've got some questions for you.
Yeah.
We'll keep it kind of top line, but I want to kind of find out about where your journey started in terms of collecting and what kind of other things you collect at the moment.
Yeah, so it started, I want to say, when I was younger, like every kid collected cards anyway. I was a Yu-Gi-Oh! And shootout fiend.
Same here, mate.
Like, shootout cards were like 2005-06 with the red back and 6-07 with the yellows. Those were the two that got me. And I was just obsessed. Like, I didn't really care about who I got. It was almost like I knew who the Barclays men were before this trend came out lately. But it's like, it just looked cool. I just liked having a card with my favorite player that I could just look at every now and again. And it started there, playgrounds at school. And I was
just going to say, it was playgrounds at school and finding, a shiny or finding something that your friend didn't have.
Yeah.
And, showboating a little bit, like, I've got this, and then using it as leverage. Like, okay, well, what can I get out of it?
But there's three memories. I'll go through them quick because I remember them all the time from the shootout era. But I was in a shoe zone, getting my shoes for the next year, like for school. And my mum had bought me a few packs just to shut me up on the day. The last pack I got of Ruud van Nistelrooy 2005-06 with it was a 3-star shiny with the weird emblem. And I was packed him and I went mental in shoe zone. So that's like my first memory.
Knee sliding in
it
shoes.
Was such a good day. And I still got that card at home, the whole binder. And then also at school, I remember there was a friend I had called Jake. Okay. It wasn't you.
Yeah,
he passed.
I don't remember that one.
He had the Yakubu.
Okay.
The 5-star shiny Yakubu.
Yeah.
He had him. I thought it was just the best card. First time I saw that foil card, because I hadn't seen the others yet. I was like, oh my God, this is incredible. It was thicker. Like, oh my God. And he wouldn't let anyone touch it, except like we were good mates, so he let me. And then I was obsessed. I don't know why. That West Ham team at the time, they didn't even have, I don't know if they had Tevez back then, but they had like Marlon Harewood and like Christian Daly and Paul Konchesky. I just liked that team for some reason. And then someone had a Marlon Harewood and he wanted my Brad Friedel Blackburn 3-star shiny. It was a 2-star Harewood for a 3-star shiny. I traded it and I got home and I told Dad and he looked at me and was like, why have you done that? And
so disappointed.
Yeah, and he was probably into it. So I was like, oh, maybe there's something here. So I collected for ages as a kid, and then you put it away. Like uni comes and goes, school comes and goes, A-level come and go, and then I was sat in my bedroom, work from home, like 2 years ago, and I was on eBay just looking at stuff. I used to have to sneak stuff into my dad's eBay account just to hope he would like try and buy me something. And to be fair, 9 times out of 10 he would. But then I just clocked, oh, I'm an adult now. That's my PayPal account. I can do what I want now. I'm paying rent. I'm paying council tax. I can do what I want. So then I bought a Blue Eyes White Dragon, PSA 9 from 2010. Just looked like the coolest thing. I just kept looking at it everywhere I went. I was like, oh. And this was when I looked at, it's preserved forever now. And this is when I started getting into grading and
figuring out what
the
grading idea was.
Because I just knew 9 was good. I didn't know like that was the second best or what the difference is between 9 and I
just thought that we'll go with that one.
Yeah.
And so do you remember how much you paid for that card?
Yeah, it was £18.
£18.
Yeah, so it was on eBay, so it was a decent amount. And then after that, I bought who was my first graded card for football? I can't remember who it was now. It would have been probably a Ruud. I think
I did have a little scroll and I did see one of the first cards that you posted from a while back was a Ruud van Nistelrooy.
It's my favorite card of all time. That's a Futera 2005 unique. This one I started getting involved in learning about it, but it was a gold Futera 2005, so the pop was always going to be tiny
super
on
low,
it. Someone just put it on. It was one of those beautiful listings of like it had no capital letters in the header. You just knew someone wanted to get rid of it, and I ended up snagging it. PSA 10. I ended up snagging it for about, I think it was 22 quid.
It's not bad at all, is it?
And now I checked how much the comp size, over 100, 200 quid.
Yeah, so. Futera, I think Futera sometimes get a bit of a bad rep, but I mean, I speak to the guys at Futera quite a lot.
I spoke to him yesterday, actually.
Yeah, Adam's a great guy, really good guy, and definitely should look at doing some work with him as well, because it'll be good. But the quality of Futera, in my mind, is second to none.
Yeah.
The quality is so good.
Yeah.
We did a podcast with Adam at Futera, and when we looked at the gem rate, it was something like 75% of Futera cards are gradings 10s. Jeez. Which is amazing. It just shows that the level of quality.
Nowhere near that.
Even Chrome, nowhere near it at all. So it's good to see that people collecting Futura, because I like it quite a lot. And
yeah.
I think some of the new sets, like the FX set, I don't know if you've seen that.
Beautiful. Yeah.
Looks really, really cool.
Yeah.
I always like the gold plated designs, things like that. I think they're just
the gold ones for me, like that. I want to get, well, my goal is to get every single Ruud van Nistelrooy card ever made graded.
Nice.
That's the end of my collection. Then I won't look at getting anyone else. But that's why I think I have 3 cards of him graded or 4 cards graded, and I have about 20 or 30 raw. So I'm just gonna try. But the Futera ones for him are just so clean.
Yeah,
they're so clean.
So tell me then, in terms of when you have your cards, where do you keep them? Is it in your office? Is it on display on a wall? Is it on a mantelpiece? What do you do when you display your cards?
So this is a funny story.
Are they in a shoebox?
No, God forbid. The raw ones that I don't like, they're in a shoebox. But my main PC ones, I've bought like a Amazon like plinth.
Nice.
That's like it's like a little. It's a I don't know how to describe it. It's like a retro step ladder basically that just showcases everything. Shelf is probably the right word, but it's a proper like a nice one, metallized and got wood, and it's in my bedroom. So it's like my bed's here, my wardrobe's there, and it's just kind of off to the side. Now I didn't think that was just because my space isn't even that big, so it was one place I had room and I could look at it whenever. But like I didn't clock until like I got out of a relationship earlier this year, and she was with me through the journey, so she didn't really mind it. But then I thought, oh, now I want to start dating again and meeting people, and I bring them back, and I'm like, I'm not like that. I bring them back. Like if it gets to that point, if it gets to that point, you know, God willing, then and she sees that, is like, is that going to be a deal breaker? And blessed, like my current girlfriend saw it and was like, oh, that's just a passion that you've got, and you've done it in that way. And I was like, marriage. That's when I was like, okay, one knee ring.
I think sometimes as well, when you so my girlfriend, she doesn't really like the cards in the house, you know. I got one of the MGC magazines on the coffee table, which I thought was a real big thing. I thought that'd be nice. I like, everyone has their designer magazines, and I thought the MGC magazine on there. But she won't have it at all. There's no chance. But I tell you what, when I start talking about the values of stuff,
then it's
that switches.
Yeah, then it switches.
But then it's like, why don't you sell that card and I can buy a new handbag or something along the lines of that? So
it's not. It does not how it works, but it is all on a plinth. And I've got roughly, I want to say, between 100 and 200 slabs.
Nice,
like from various different graders as well. So I've got them all kind of laid up. I've got some kind of perched up against it. I've got some Corinthians Pro Stars figurines at the bottom. I've got a Yu-Gi-Oh section. I've got a basketball section from when I watched Last Dance on Netflix and got obsessed for like a day. And I've got my 2 Hail Marys, which is my Alan Shearer PSA 10 94 World Cup and PSA 10 Futera Gold.
Very cool. Very cool. That's good. I always kind of like to see how people display their collections. Because a lot of people obviously have the big suitcases. They keep them all locked away in there. For me, I would love to display them. I'm very lucky, obviously, I have an office which does grading. We kind of put our on display. We have kind of like...
It's a good display. I like it.
It's cool, isn't it?
We were looking at it on the way in. It's really, really nice.
It's quite nice. So I can show them off there. But definitely, if I tried to get them in the house, it just wasn't happening.
Well, I live on my own, and that's partly the reason why I could do it. But bless her, she's been... this isn't a podcast about her, but like, it's nice when your partner just sort of gets, or people you're around they don't have to understand it, but if they get it and they get the idea of just nostalgia and loving it and all that.
That's it.
And she knows how much I love football, and kind of collecting is a natural progression, I think, for most fans. And she's like, well, you know, I have X amount of like bags, or I like clothes from this place. It's like, it's kind of a similar thing, isn't it? It's like, well, bang on. So yeah, like and we've already said, when we do, if the day continues and we get to move in together, that there will be a place for them.
They have to stay.
They will stay.
I like it. It leads into, you kind of touching it a little bit there. So talk to me about Hobby FC. What's kind of the representing there? Very nice. Embroidered as well, which is pretty cool. That's posh.
Paid a lot for this. This is a stupid amount.
What I want to know about Hobby FC is what's kind of the goal? What's the kind of the plan with it? What do you see it being?
Yeah, so it came because I wanted to get involved in collecting once I started finding out more about it, but there wasn't enough resource to convert me, a fan, into a collector. So that is the kind of purpose behind it, that fans they've got so many different avenues to actually explore their fandom now, whether it's traveling to different places or listening to different things, watching things, books, magazines, or experiences, or the physical and like tangibles, like cards, stickers, figures, whatever you want. So this, or shirts, is obviously massive.
Is a big one, isn't it? Yeah.
So that I just wanted to develop a place where I could educate myself along with educating everybody else. And I tend not to take myself too seriously. I tend to just keep it light and bright. And if you go down the pub and you've got a mate who is a collector, the last thing that you're going to want to hear as a fan is all this technical stuff that will just put you off. Like with anything, really. If I hear about Ponzi fashion, Ponzi food, even though I like fashion and food, I'll get turned off by it. I'd rather be just the person who can talk to fans the way fans want to be spoken to about something they don't know yet about, which is what Hobby FC is all through. So yeah, it kind of started with that, just not having a place for it. I know Topps obviously have Ripped now, which is, people are learning a bit more, and they're starting to invest more in that side, but it's still, you still just see the numbers, you still just see the amount things cost, the barriers to entry. And my whole point, no matter who I partner with or what we do, is to bring those barriers of entry down, just for collectors of any age, experience, and wallet size can actually get involved and enjoy it themselves.
I think as well, when you said that message to me about that, it's about bringing fans into it, turning them into collectors and stuff like that, and showing them how easy that journey can be. That gets me really excited, because all of a sudden I'm going, okay, how do we grow our market in the UK? Well, if we just keep putting it down the throats of collectors, let's be honest, they're not going to go, oh, well, I don't like them guys, or I'm not going to use them, et cetera, or I use them already. The market is limited. But I think the real area where, football cards can go big is from bringing fans into it, and getting them into collectors and getting them into there and showing them an easy, safe way to get into it. I always think of MGC, we're such a great business for being that kind of first point of call for someone grading for the first time. Even like yourself today, trying it out for the first time, being in the UK, being really quick and easy just to drop a card off and have it graded. And I like that kind of message that you're doing there, where it's kind of keeping it lighthearted, and the content is really good. I kind of been watching it a lot and thinking it's done so simply but so perfect every single time. It has comedy in it, it has education in it. It's brilliant. So I think it's really cool. And so Hobby FC, in terms of that, is it just an Instagram page, or is it going to be more than that?
No, so it's more. So we've got, the socials, so Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, or X, whatever the hell it's called. Like, that's all kind of going, as in like daily content goes on each of those pages from me. I'm going to keep saying we, it is just me, but we are
I did the same.
Yeah, I don't know why, but like, we're now trying to get to a point where bring on more creators who know a bit more about the fashion angle, the food angle than what I do. Because right now it's just me commenting and learning rather than bringing much education and value. I can bring it about cards and stuff I learn, but I want to kind of drive that a bit better. So we're getting more creators hopefully on board soon. There's a website, hobbyfc.com, which has blog articles going up, written by me most of the time, with other writers, which again kind of explores things to go there. And because of where my other socials have gone, I've got a bit of a team I'm working with now to expand the Hobby FC into a show, where hopefully we get a bit more of a digital showcase of people's collectibles. We get to tour around like the country and the world, talking to ex-players and people that are getting involved, or we can just kind of still have football conversations, but take it in a different direction. So there's two things. I want fans to become collectors, or to give them the opportunity to be that. But I also say this is the place where memories meet memorabilia. And that's, I've just talked about memories, and that's all this is. Like, it's all driven by memories. And yes, you've got the value and the investment side, and that's kind of its own different beast. But I think what I'm doing is I want it to just be a bit more wholesome, and just keep it very much, you are still the kid on the playground. It's the kid in the playground who either got shouted at by their dad for a stupid trade, or like managed to pack something, or just went into school feeling like the big dog that day. That's still there. But it's like, I'm trying to now curate the content towards bringing that one out, because once you start paying bills and council tax and all that, it gets hidden, and you're only really happy when that's happy. It to not sound weird, but like that's why I'm into it, and that's why I
think it's one of them things as well. I really enjoy where you see family members getting involved with their kids and stuff, and it's kind of recreating what was happening when they were younger. I think it's just a really nice thing to do. Touching on the subject where you're saying about doing your own show, I think that'd be amazing. I'd be well up for that. Cool. I know a few people have tried, and the problem I think is a lot of the time in the hobby, people just try then give up. And where I kind of see with yourself is you're quite relentless.
Yeah, it will happen. So it's more of a, I don't know where I heard the phrase. It might have been on, was it The Golden Touch on Netflix? It might have been on there where I first heard it, but build it and they will come.
Yep.
So I think he said that when he started the consignment thing at Golden, or it might have been somewhere else, but it seemed like something
Ken Golding would probably say that.
Probably something he would say, but it is a bit like that, because I don't think people really know what they want until they want it. Because I remember, like, I didn't jump the gun on a few ideas I had in the past. Like, I wanted to do an MLS show for ages, like with UK voices, but then Gary Neville and Jamie Carragher went and done It's Called Soccer, like literally 2 weeks ago. So I'm like, well, I'm not doing that now, because they've done it way better than I ever could. So if I could actually work with the right people and the partners to get this off the line in the right way, and I mean get a space and do it properly, get some editors and churn out content, because I would be there every day and I would do it every single day and until it works. Because I think, as you've seen from my other socials and this, that's kind of been the mantra that's got me this far. So why stop?
I mean, people probably might not know your other socials, even though the amount of following you got on there is pretty crazy that you've managed to bring. So if you could replicate any of that kind of what you've done there in this space, I think it's huge for the hobby. I think it'd be really, really good. Do you want to talk about your other space, what you do at the moment?
Yeah, like, I think, the whole journey of social started off me just doing fun. Like, it started off on Stitches on TikTok, where you take someone else's video, 5 seconds, react to it. It started off on that, and it just kind of blew up from there. And I think I did one video where, so previously I tried the podcast, I tried the blogs, and I would be lucky to get 100, 200 views on anything. I think that was a good day on YouTube, frankly.
I know the pain. That's literally where I'm at the moment.
It still is. YouTube's difficult, but and then I started doing it on there, and I did one video that ended up getting 400,000 just on a random fun reaction. I thought, oh, well, this works. I might as well just keep doing this. And then I got 1,000 for the first time ever. I was buzzing. 10,000. And then the one viral video I did, which when I think I did some vanity stuff, and I just kind of checked where people had posted it and how many views it had got, just for no reason other than to boost my own sort of ego at the time. It's gotten now between 250 and 500 million views, that one video. Crazy. And it took me, not specifically on my channel, it got taken elsewhere, which is still my face, so I didn't care. And then that video took me from 10K to about 100K in the space of 48 hours. And I thought, okay, this is me now. Let's just post consistently every day at about that time, because you get superstitious. I thought, let's just keep it around that time I did it. And that's morphed into a bit more of the relatable living adult life as a relatable adult, saying all the stuff that we want to say but don't. And that's kind of morphed into where it is now. And TikTok and Instagram have done well. And then I've got my football channel on Man United and general football. And the collectibles came in probably a few months ago. And I thought, one thing I don't need right now is to do more stuff on socials, but one thing I'm going to do right now is more stuff on socials.
It's good that I just think that you've probably got so much knowledge and so much kind of expertise that adding a passion into it as well, adding the two together is just going to be a force of nature that I think is just going to grow. I mean, I looked at your hobby FC is at like 5,000-6,000 followers now, whatever.
5,200, I think.
And how quickly has that come in terms of?
I want to say consistently about 3 months.
3 months.
2-3 months. Something like that.
That's incredible. That is literally incredible. I think we're sitting at about 9,000. I'm a follower watcher. I definitely am. And it means, when I see it, I'm like, oh, I wish we were getting to 10K. But to get to 5K followers that quick is, I think that's really cool in a space that is still quite small. But I think that's probably where you come into it again. You're not targeting collectors. You're targeting fans that are going to become collectors. And then the content I imagine you're going to do is keep them as collectors further down the line by educating them and stuff like that. So
and I think what I want to stress is when I do partner with anyone or do anything, it's to always give back to the fan, because one thing I've not really been able to do with my other channels is give back as much as I want to, because I haven't really made as much money as people might think just looking at numbers, because it doesn't really work like that. But when I do Hobby FC, it's like, okay, there are fans who actually want this stuff. Like fans, if I show a football fan anything from my collection, they get it immediately. They might not get the money or everything else, but they get the shirt. They get when I tell them I went to, like, I tried to go to United to watch a game 2-3 seasons ago, before COVID actually, so 4 seasons ago. And it would cost me from where I was living in London to get up there about 200 quid to get hotel tickets and everything and train. I flew to Milan, watched a San Siro game in Serie A, peak time, and got a flight there, back, hotels, everything, food. It costs less than 120 quid.
Yeah,
so it's like everyone can relate to it, but I want to be able to know that if I do partner with a travel company or partner with a grading service or with someone else, it's gonna benefit them, and that's because it's a community. It's one of the nicest communities in the world as well. Like everyone is just really like we're all just collecting cards and we're all just having fun.
Do you know what I find is so
nice.
strange about it though?
Yeah.
So in the football world, if a lot of my friends, support Chelsea and Arsenal and things like that, and on the day that we're playing, I hate them. I hate them.
Yeah.
However, I will happily handle Arsenal cards, Chelsea cards, and for some strange reason, it doesn't really matter.
It doesn't.
But if I was to put a football shirt on, I would never put a Chelsea or an Arsenal football shirt. No. But I'm more than happy to have a Thierry Henry card in my collection.
Well,
how does that work?
Because it's the memory side of it, isn't it? You still appreciate like Thierry's still one of the best strikers.
But I would never have his shirt in my collection.
You wouldn't have his shirt, but then you would have his card. And you probably grade it. 100%.
Yeah, that's it.
Or you'd be able to say that's sick.
Yeah.
Or even look at the shirt and be like, that's beautiful. Whichever way you look at it. Maybe
not with the shirt.
Maybe not. But like you'd be able to say, okay, I get it.
Yep.
If I was a fan, I'd get that. Because I look at the Liverpool Carlsberg shirts. I still think they're one of the best shirts made.
Would you own one though?
Wouldn't own one. But I can still appreciate it.
Yeah. That's the thing. But that's where I think we're in if you go on social media now and you go into like Twitter and you start looking at football fans kind of talking to you, there's a lot of abuse in there. But you don't get that in the card world, which is quite strange.
And it's just nice because I think because I've got the football channel and I think I had a particularly bad only 2 weeks ago. I was properly in the dumps about the football channel because we just lost 3-0 to Liverpool. So I'm obviously going to get crap for it now, but I had some bad news elsewhere and I was just getting it in the neck. And for some reason, when you're brown and online, people go to that. And I don't know why. They just go to, saying all the stuff that they would never say to my face or in a court, frankly.
Yeah.
But they'll say it. And I just thought I was having a really, really bad day. And then everyone was just coming at me for no real reason. I said nothing wrong. I don't like you'll notice on any channel, I don't swear. I don't even take the mick out of players. I take the mick out myself because that's kind of why I think I've built a bit of a niche. But it's like people were still coming at me for no real reason. And then when I went to the Hobby FC channels, it was like, I remember I did a video on like, what was it? Like build your best Serie A five-a-side or something like that. And I just said my opinion. If I said my favorite Man United five-a-side and went on that channel, they would batter me for.
Yep.
My followers would batter me for it, and United fans would batter me. Why?
Because you're strange, isn't it?
But then everyone else with the nostalgia element, they were like, "Oh, I get why you've done that." Yep. But I would say this: it's like that's how adults are supposed to talk to each other.
It's true.
And that's I think when you get the nostalgia in, everyone gets it. I think the Barclaysman trend we were saying.
Yeah,
everyone gets it.
It's kind of like stickers. I think people get that throwback straight away. I saw one of the videos you done recently. I think it was pick your best five, and you went for Totti and Ronaldo. Wasn't it?
Yeah.
And you can imagine there's fans going out there. If that was just kind of conversation about it, oh no, never liked him, kind of thing. Yeah. But because it was on a nice sticker and it was kind of in a vintage kit, everyone was like, oh yeah, I remember that. That was pretty cool.
And it was because even then it's difficult for people to look at a point of view on football in general and just look at it face to face, like just as text or as someone talking and say, oh, I agree with that. You have to either really agree with me, which means you have to, in your mind, you're kind of connecting with me in a way. And if I represent something you don't like, whether you don't like my skin color, whether you don't like the way I talk or whatever, you immediately just disassociate what I say. It's kind of like, not from a racial point of view, but if Graham Souness says anything, I have to look at it twice because I'm like, I don't like what you've said before, but I have to ignore that and try and look at what you're saying now. But when it's cards, you've got that physical thing and I can just put that up to you and you say, do you like it or not? Yeah. And you could even say no, but you can be like, I get it though. It's mine. I know one, which I do. And that's why I think cards in particular or anything physical you get, but shirts is a bit closer to
it's a little bit kind of the badge kind of thing.
Yeah,
I think.
It's a bit, yeah.
I think a little bit comes into it maybe as well with the investment side of things.
Yes.
I think especially when you start talking about prices to people and start understanding it, that's when, sometimes even going away from that, whoever the player is on the actual card doesn't really matter too much.
No.
And the rivalry doesn't matter too much because they're going, well, that's worth £500. So if I pull that in the pack, I'm happy.
Yeah, exactly.
Imagine like you open a pack of cards and you pull a 1-on-1 Thierry Henry autograph. I am buzzing as well. I'm going to be over the moon.
Exactly. Yeah.
If it was Sol Campbell, maybe not. Maybe not. But if it's Thierry Henry, if it was Dennis Bergkamp, maybe even like Bukayo Saka and things like that. If it was them kind of guys there, I'll go. You know what? I'm happy.
If you're a Ronaldo fan, the biggest Ronaldo fan in the world, you pack an insane Messi card.
Oh yeah,
you'll be happy living where you're going to be living after you sell it, ain't you?
Exactly that.
Stupid. So no, I completely.
So I think that is the nice thing I find. I think rivalries are dropped in card collecting, which is quite good. So that's cool. Okay, talk to me about like the partnership then. So you said about partnering. Have you got any partners that you've linked up with already? Is there anything that you kind of got in the pipeline that you're thinking of doing, or any ideas or any people you want to reach out to
I think with the Soccer Archive I mentioned, I adore them because they gave me a chance when I just started out in the football. This is when the football channels weren't really doing. They were doing okay, but like not enough to get their kind of attention. And they gave me a shot and they just said, here's £100, you can spend it on whatever you want. You don't have to make a video. And naturally I made 5 and I tried to show what I can do. And then I came to the shop and to the pop-up they did in London, I just offered my services for free. They took it and it worked. And now, we've got a proper partnership in place where as much as I like CFS and they're great, I will not go to CFS. I'm a Soccer Archive boy through and through. I love them. And I think their prices are brilliant. And I think that the quality is insane as well. But they always sort me out. So Soccer Archive have always been great. And we were just talking off camera about potentially something that you and I could potentially work on. Like, I would love that. And I think it's something we should definitely talk about. We're talking to a few companies that do like travel packages. I think Looking FC, Eric Cantona's business, he sets up like these retreats for football fans to go to the biggest derbies in the world. That's cool. So they cost a lot of money. It's like $4 or $5 but you will watch Super Classico and you will go to the best hotels. You will not get robbed and you will do it properly. So he'll probably sort you out.
He's a man with great taste as well, isn't he? So I can imagine.
It's going to be good. So he'll be on the tour. And
that makes it even more exciting as well.
9 times out of 10. So he'll do all of that. And I've always tried to I've looked at the stuff Copper 90 do or some of the other documentary makers, Rabona TV stuff. And I'm trying to work with some football clubs now to tell their story a bit better. I did one with Walsall where I tried to become a pro and just look a bit of a tit. I'm trying to do that now with more clubs because it's just good content and good fun. There's all these different sort of avenues. And we want the show to hopefully bring collectors, of course, but I want people you don't expect it from. So I remember watching. So I like snooker as well. It's a bit off topic.
That's really random.
Really off topic. But Stephen Hendry, do you know?
I know a little bit. I know Ronnie O'Sullivan,
7-time world champion. He's got a YouTube channel now called Q-Tips.
Oh, I've watched it. I watched with James Madison.
This is what I'm going to talk about.
James Madison,
he's got shirts all over the floor, and he's got framed shirts from 2002 and this. And I'm like, it's on the floor. He's not even put it on the. It's like, does he know how much that thing is worth? And I am going to do a video where I go into how much that thing is worth, and you can take it if you want. It's a good idea, but it's stuff like that. I want to be able to partner with people to tell their stories and to show a different side of people as well. So there's all these different things.
One thing I'd love to do. I mean, I'm a very nosy person. And I don't think anyone's done it very well yet. But that snooting around people's houses, digging in their collection, seeing what they've got, seeing what maybe they, obviously they've got to agree to it. You can't just go breaking people's doors, but showing cards that you might never see before that they've got hidden away, shirts that people have got hidden away, that kind of stuff I'd really like to see.
But this is where the show could, and honestly, I am looking directly for partners to help with the studio, to help with the editing side and just churn it out basically. Because if we do get a partner, I've always said, it will just go straight back into the running of it. If we got a partner that can do the studio and a partner to kind of supplement with sponsorship, it can go into finance of the studio. I don't have to make stupid amounts from it. I can live off it and I'll be happy because I'm still working part-time at a business marketing wise. I would just like my content to make money so I can live. I want to live a good life, but I don't need the Ken Goldin private jet. Just let me live a nice life and a free one. That's all I want. So if I could wake up and I know my bills are paid and I can go in and do a show and I'm speaking to someone about cards, that's worth more than anything else. So that is the focus. And if we do get that, then the next step would be, if we did have an editor and a videographer, let's go to this, let's put it out on Insta, let's go to this guy's house and see what he's got, because we either get kidnapped or we get a good show. So either way,
there's going to be so much good content from that out there. So many people that have got hidden gems that we never see.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's a really, really good idea. Okay, so into card collecting then. So we've obviously gone a little bit in terms of shirts and things like that. What is the dream card or the holy grail card that you've got in your collection now, or not now, but maybe in the future you want to get as well?
Yeah, like I do want the one thing I don't have, and I've seen it and I want to like look out for it, but it's either the Panini Mosaic or I don't know if the stained glass exists. I might have just made up and just assumed it did, but I want a Ruud van Nistelrooy, either a numbered or a parallel from the Mosaic or the stained glass collection.
Okay, that'd be cool.
Any kind of Ruud auto.
I don't know if they've got stained glass.
I'm pretty sure they have Mosaic. I'm pretty certain they have Mosaic, but stained glass, I don't know.
That'd be quite
I'm not
cool.
sure, but I haven't got a Ruud van Nistelrooy auto.
Okay, that's something you need.
That is the number one.
That's something you need to get.
And Fatera do on card. So if they were on card,
I don't know if they've got Ruud van Nistelrooy yet. I'd hope they would. That'd be very cool.
I think they would.
I don't know if I'm allowed to say, but Adam dropped me a list of who they've got coming signing up.
Yeah.
Some good names.
Is Ruud not on there?
I can't remember. There was some big.
It makes sense if he is. He's in the UK now, so
I mean they can. The thing with Adam, he's very good at chasing these people down. He will get after them and
Rolodexes.
Yeah. So I think that's definitely something that could be an angle for him. But some of the players that he's got are huge. Was some huge ones, which I was really excited about as well, because I think that is one thing maybe Futera in the past have kind of been slated on a little bit, is that their auto checklist doesn't maybe match up to like Topps and Panini, which is again understandable because Topps and Panini have got huge budgets.
Futera's on card as well.
So it makes it even more difficult to actually get the actual item as well. They've got to have the physical card there.
And someone there to authenticate it.
So it does become a bit of a trickier process. But I think collectors do appreciate that more when they actually see an on-card auto.
100%. But no, any Ruud auto. Like Ruud, like I said earlier, I want to get every single card that's ever been made of Ruud van Nistelrooy. And the idea is that if I could get them graded and whatever, if he doesn't block me for stalking him, like I'd love to just meet him and be like, could you sign one? And that'd
be cool.
And I'll die a happy man if I
actually think we had in for grading, I think this week, a big, Panini, I think it's Panini Select, Ruud van Nistelrooy auto. Maybe when we go back up to the office, we'll have a little snoot around and see if we can find who dropped that card in there. And but that's quite a nice player to chase after. I like that about collectors as well. Obviously, there's investors and collectors out there, but I do like when people focus on that certain player. Mine was Harry Kane.
Mine was Ruud, but he still went to Real Madrid. And I still love him. So I feel like when Kane retires,
I do still love him.
You'll love back and you'll still love him the same amount. I do still love him, but yeah,
it was hard.
Yeah, like Ruud had a bust up with Sir Alex, and even they both regret it. And he went to Real Madrid, and that the only transfer in my life that made me cry was Ruud going. But didn't cry for Ronaldo. Not even Forlan to Villarreal for $5 million. Selling Ruud, nah.
Selling Ruud made you cry.
Still hurts.
Yeah, I mean, I remember my biggest one was Sol Campbell. That was my biggest. I remember my next door neighbour was a massive Arsenal fan.
Yeah.
And did you ever used to have? I don't know if United did it, but we used to have like postcards of the players.
Yes.
So you could buy the postcards and you could go and get them signed at the game.
We had them,
so I had the full 11, probably even match days. The whole team had every single postcard of it, and they were all stuck on my wall. And I used to put them in certain positions of where I wanted them to play at the weekend and stuff. Kind of my football manager, but on the wall.
Best, isn't it? It's so good. I'd do that now.
Yeah, well,
that's just a good day out with mates, isn't it?
It was great fun. And I remember that I came home from school, and my dad sat me down, and he went, "Sol Campbell's gone to Arsenal."
Yeah, my dad sat me down and said, "Ruud's gone to Real." You cried, didn't it?
I was gutted, mate. Honestly, and I threw a tantrum, and my next door neighbour, we had like a little, not the chain wire fences.
Yeah.
So we had the chain wire fence, so you could kind of lean over and talk to the person next door. And he's there, he's putting out the washing, looking all smug. He's like, "Jake, hear about Sol Campbell?" And I'm like, "You absolute knob." I was fuming. So I walked upstairs, I grabbed my Sol Campbell, and I remember tearing it in half over the wire fence, and I threw it over there so you can keep him. And I was gutted. I was so hurt. So hurt. But the Real Madrid one with Ruud van Nistelrooy is like, that's sexy though, isn't it?
It still is, but like it was at a time when they weren't even Galactico anymore. Like they'd lost R9, they'd lost Zidane retired after 2006. Beckham had gone to LA Galaxy in the same summer. So you're thinking he's going to like a sinking ship.
Yeah.
And that's when they had Julio Baptista, Cicinho, Rubinho, and all these lot. And I'm like, okay, what you gonna, like it's not like what we're building. We started getting Luis Saha, Rooney, Cristiano had signed, and it's like, come on, bro, you're missing out on
that big time.
He says like he doesn't regret moving to Real, but he's like
did he win Champions League or anything at Real Madrid at the time?
One of the best players ever to never win it.
He never won the Champions League.
Never won the Champions League because he joined us when we were terrible. Like we were in transition, and he gone to them when they were the same. That was the year I think Barcelona was starting to take it up. And he'd never won it.
I would have put him down. Being at United, being at Madrid, I'd have gone. Yeah,
I don't think R9's won it.
R9's never won the Champions League.
I don't think he has. I don't think R9's won the Champions League.
He must have.
I don't think he has.
No, he must have.
Zlatan. I'm getting mixed up. It might be Zlatan.
I know Zlatan.
Zlatan hasn't won it.
Did Zlatan not win it at Barcelona when he was like?
No.
Didn't win it at Barcelona when he was basically not playing and.
No, I don't think he did. Cause I think he missed the boat.
Missed that there.
So he was at Inter, then he swapped with Sammy Eto'o, and then Sammy Eto'o won. Then Sammy won it twice. But Zlatan
so this going off cards, but in terms of your kind of top 5 greatest players of all time, I've sprung that on you right there. That is really nasty. But
greatest or just my favorites? Can I just say favorites?
Go favorites, yeah. Go favorites.
I can't say greatest. Like, well, putting it out there, my GOAT is Cruyff.
Okay.
My number 1 is Johan Cruyff, and it always will be. But
so with Johan Cruyff, then because is that just watching YouTube clips and watching old clips of Johan Cruyff, or how has that come about?
Yes, I wrote in lockdown. I wrote my first football book, which ended up being kind of a chronology of the last 50 years of football, and you just don't get from there to now.
What's the book called?
The Football Spiderweb, which is on Amazon. I then made The Conquerors, which is about the AC Milan team under Ancelotti with Kaká, Maldini, and all them. And I did one in conjunction with Boavista Football Club last season to kind of tell their story, which was great. But the very first one, it's centered on Cruyff throughout the whole thing. But you think Pep's good. He managed Pep. You don't get, football still stays in black and white a lot if it's not for Johan Cruyff. So I said in the book, if you measure it based on scoring goals, you go in Pele, Cristiano. You measure it on magic, you go in Maradona, Messi. You measure it on legacy, I think Cruyff is the number 1. And my personal choice is legacy. So
that's interesting. I need to watch more Cruyff then.
He was unbelievable.
I need to watch more Cruyff. I mean,
Skinny
R9 was for me. I really liked him. In terms of favourite, I got 2. Well, actually 3. He's going to go more and more once you think about it, isn't it? But I think my 3 that I really, really enjoyed watching, Dimitar Berbatov.
Yeah.
I used to love him so much.
I
loved that kind of lazy, kind of laid back kind of style where it's like whatever I do, it's just, it just works. I thought that was brilliant. I used to like Aaron Lennon. So Aaron Lennon is probably...
He was rapid, Aaron Lennon.
Unreal. And I remember it was the time when we beat... I was actually mascot for the game as well, which was pretty good. We beat Arsenal 5-1 in the League Cup. So I was mascot. I got to walk out. Good. I walked out with Benoit Asuakotu. Not the best, but Aaron Lennon was...
Is he the one that didn't like football?
He didn't like football. He just did it for a career. And I think he wanted to be a porn star in the end.
Did he?
Yeah, I think that's what... I don't know.
To him.
Yeah.
Tough career. But when we're saying 5 favourites, can I just do Man United? I can't... If I go abroad, I'm going to look at...
Go for it.
Too many. So... Favorite ever Man United player. So Rude is the number 1.
Yep. I think we've gathered that from this conversation.
100% number 1. Diego Forlan.
Yep.
Probably number 2. I'm not going to rank the rest, but those are my top 2. Antonio Valencia. Adored him. Absolutely 7 out of 10 minimum each game. And he was a brick unit, wasn't he?
Didn't he come from Wigan?
He did, yeah.
Wigan.
I love that. Those signings never happen anymore.
Yeah.
Like Wigan to Man United. And that same season, I think you bought Palacios.
Oh, Wilson Palacios.
Yeah. And but that Wigan team, because I've been doing the Barclaysman stuff, Rodallega, Palacios, Leighton Baines, Denny Lanza, Antonio Valencia, Amir Zaki, Paul Sharner even. Like they just had, and that Maynor Figueroa, Emerson Boyce.
Yeah.
They're top.
They actually had some players.
We've got no one now. Jordan Ayew.
Yeah, that's it.
Him, isn't it? Like, Vestergaard. He's the closest we're going to get. But then we had Hangeland back in the day. Like, it's all changed.
That is crazy, though. I remember Wilson Palacios a lot. I really liked him.
Good at Wigan. He was really good at Wigan.
And he weren't bad at Spurs either.
Yeah, he was good.
Didn't he? I think his parents got kidnapped or something.
Yeah, something.
He got kidnapped. Yeah,
his brother
maybe Honduras, wasn't he?
Yes,
That's where he's from.
Yeah. And that was known for some mad stuff going on. But
things
Antonio Valencia was adored him. And Ji-sung Park.
Yeah.
Had to be, because if I could bring one of these players back right now to join the squad, it's Ji-sung Park.
I could see
He just gave everything. I was going to say Ander Herrera. And if I'm going to pick I'm going to pick a modern player now because I've gone in the past, but I love Lisandro Martinez. I think...
I don't get that, though.
Do you like Romero?
I actually don't.
You don't?
I did like him.
Fine, yeah.
And now I've kind of got bored of it.
Okay.
I'm like, stop being an idiot every game. You know, I know you can hit someone hard. I know, you know, but you're now costing us a little bit. I've not... A lot of Man United fans like Martinez, don't they? What is it? Lisandro Martinez. Yeah. A lot of people like him, and I don't really see it. You know, he's very short.
Yeah.
You know, is he actually that good?
Yes, he is. But it's like, I'm short and I was a goalie, so to have someone short, like, everyone thought he was crap.
Yeah.
And he's just not. On the ball, he is a very good defender. I wouldn't say he's one of the best in the world. He's definitely very, very good. But it's also, you have to remember where we came from before he came in. Like, we were stuck with Lindelof and Maguire, or Eric Bailly and Marcus Rojo, or Chris Smalling and Daley Blind. And he's like, now we've got just a one guy who can play defensive mid, left back, centre back. And when he does get injured, they're bad. He doesn't stay down unless he has to. He cares about the badge. He fights for us. And all of the Argentinians, bar Tevez, like, fought for us. Like, Gabi Hense, he said he wanted to go
Angel Di Maria?
Except him.
Yeah. I was going to say.
Definitely, yeah.
Actually, bar that chip.
Elite chip, though.
Was it at Leicester, wasn't it?
Yeah. We lost 5-3 that game.
Oh, my word. That was the year they won the league, I think.
No, that was the year they were getting relegated.
Yeah, they nearly got relegated.
Cambiasso was in that team. Yeah, they didn't have Kante.
Wow, okay.
We were terrible.
That was insane. I remember watching it again. That was a great game. That was a great game.
That's when we have Falcao as well. I wish it worked out.
So we've got, in terms of the office, a lot of the guys like players like Falcao, Cavani, you know, these kind of guys here. It goes back to that long-haired footballer, doesn't it? I don't know what it is.
It's just better.
Yeah,
it's
so just cool.
Better. It's when Falcao cut his hair, lost all of his
just lost his magic.
Lost all of his aura. When he went to Chelsea, he actually did better at Chelsea and Monaco than he did at United ever. But I'm never going to see it that way.
No, it's
true. He didn't look as good. But yeah, I'll pick a current player, and Leacher, just because of, like, he hasn't costed us. He does do his job very well. He does get booked unnecessarily sometimes, which is annoying, but he never looks like he's on the precipice of going too far. Yep. Like, yes, I think the game where he just jumped into a Palace player, I can't remember why, it became a meme, but, like, doesn't have to do that. It's just stupid. Didn't touch the player though, did he? It's just a bit stupid, but he's stupid but not reckless yet. And he just embodies what I like.
I need to probably watch him a little bit more.
He's a very good player.
I always kind of sit and I go, I can't see it, but
I like it.
A lot of people
De Ligt is going to get up there though if he continues the way he is, because I've been watching him for years. Adore him.
Yeah, he was good. He had a little drop off at Juventus, didn't he? I think it didn't really work out from there, did it? And
no, he still won the league.
Did he?
He's won the league in the first season everywhere he's been, except for us, because we're not going to be anywhere near it.
It's not going to happen, is it? But I can't talk being a Tottenham fan. It's not going to happen.
I'll pick those five.
Okay, then one last thing. In terms of rookies, then
I've just seen out the corner of my eye.
Oh, they got the card over there.
Got the card over there. We have to end it on that.
Yeah, we're definitely on that. One last question. Then. So, in terms of rookies, then, obviously rookies are a big thing in the hobby. Is there anyone that you're looking to at the moment that's obviously like the standout rookie? I mean, I know one that's going to come straight to your mind, but is there anyone at the moment that you kind of thinking, they got a potential, you know, that you would maybe look to collect in the future? Yeah.
So being a United fan, like Garner, you're probably gone off him now, Garnacho, because he's had his 2 rookie years.
He went down, didn't he?
Yeah.
Scored that bicycle kick. Prices went through the roof.
Yeah.
He has kind of tapered off a little bit again.
But he's getting up, like he's had a good start to this season. Yeah. I'm thinking this is his proper breakthrough into the first team season, because last season we overplayed him when the team was underperforming. Now we've actually built a team to get the best out of him. So Garner's still up there, but Kobe is number 1, isn't he? Kobe Mainoo is. He's as a breakout season from last year, you can't get better. He only played half the year, and he came back in Jan. His debut was when Garner scored that goal against Everton, and we won 3-0, and in a team that was decimated by injuries all season. And he's still one of our best performers. So I love him. But in terms of rookie, Lamine is obvious.
I was going to say, it's like
too obvious now, but I think he is too obvious. I want to go for, like, I'm looking at someone like, not as a rookie, but someone who I think can just make that next step in his career. I looked at the Copa America and I thought Richard Rios of Colombia.
I don't know.
He was linked with us for a bit, and he had a standout Copa America. I thought we were linked with him really closely. But then seeing Andre like move to Wolves and seeing more of these players getting picked up now, I see a Joao Gomez at Wolves being that kind of player, and I see Richard Rios getting a big move in the next 2 years. So
that might be one for the guys. Then people start buying him now and starting.
I think if I'm buying Richard Rios and John Duran, and Joao Gomez.
That sounds cool.
Very rogue, but I like him. So
one thing, we had the Kobe Mano autograph him recently. We had one of them in, and it's from Topps Merlin, his rookie one.
Yeah.
And I think, I should probably get a price match here, but it really did well. It did really, really well in terms of the price sold for. I think you could buy one raw for about £200, and I think graded it ended up selling for like 350, 400 quid, which was a huge jump. And that was my moment when I went, oh, hang on a minute. Kobe Manu might be, the real deal.
But it's also the Man United factor. You have to, because it's not the fact that we just are the biggest club in the country, and one of the biggest in the world, top 3, 4 maybe. But it's because we have that many fans. So as a collective, you're thinking with an investor's hat, you're looking to a pool of people that will be interested in what you've got. You got a star Man United player that hasn't hit his peak yet. It's like buying any stock, isn't it? You'd want Apple from 20, 30 years ago.
I mean, two of my biggest cards, two of my biggest cards in my collection, I've got a 1-of-1 David Beckham auto.
Is that the one that was upstairs?
Yeah. And it's unreal. The goal that he scored against Greece.
Yeah. Was it signed?
Signed, signed. I actually pulled that in a pack as well. Like, I was, honestly, that was the guys from Kaboom. Kaboom actually had the packs. We were at a hotel room at the Yorkshire Card Show, all kind of gathered around and opening, too many boxes. And thankfully, I ended up pulling that.
Where does that happen? And you literally, like, if we were to dumb it down, it's a bunch of grown people like gathered around opening bits of paper. That's all like besotted, but
screaming and shouting.
Football is just a bunch of men kicking a ball.
Exactly,
it is what you want it to be, and I just love it so much, man.
We had one in a card show we went to. I can't remember exactly where. It might have been Northwest.
Okay,
Northwest Card Show, I think it was. And we were in the in Nando's, opening packs in Nando's, and everyone in there is like, "What are them losers doing over there?" And we were just having a great time.
I love it, man.
Chicken and chips and opening cards. It was pretty good.
It's like being a kid, though, isn't it? It is just like being a kid. Like I've mentioned my girlfriend like 8 times for no good reason. This is about football cards. But I had these WWE packs, and she used to watch it when I watched it. I've kind of gone off it a bit, trying to get back into it. But she opened the pack and she smelled it. First thing she said was like, "Oh my god, they smell the same." And that's what it is, isn't it?
That is that nostalgia.
It's just that feeling, that smell. It's like,
So going on to that then, wrestling. So obviously we've spoke pretty much all about football cards. Is there any other collectibles in terms of like sports that you collect? Is there anything like wrestling? Is that something you might be getting into? Is there some other things that you thought about you'd like to collect?
Wrestling, because I think the cards haven't picked up yet. Like we're not getting the autos or the parallels of the classic wrestlers yet. They're not really into it. You still get like a Drew McIntyre, a Finn Balor, or Roman Reigns, who like will sign a lot of stuff. But we need The Rock. We need The Undertaker and Rey Mysterio. We need all these people to actually champion it a bit. And I said this about football cards a while back, but like I haven't said it today. But when football shirts took off, it ended up with like Ian Wright going on BT and talking through shirts. I only think it's a matter of time before an Ian Wright or Roy Keane or anyone
starts on that,
wants to say, "Oh, what was the first card that was ever made about me, and how much is that thing worth?" It's worth way more than their shirt, a match-worn shirt ever would be. And that's where I want the show to go to hopefully bring that in. But wrestling, definitely. F1, I tried it after Drive to Survive. I don't care for it that much. It's not for me. But NBA, classic NBA. So I'm trying to collect the Dream Team, the Olympic Dream Team. I've got Pippen, Barkley, and Ewing. And I think I need the rest.
It's going to cost you quite a bit.
Yeah. And but they're all graded. One's a 9, one's a 8, one's a 7. I think. No, one's a 6 actually. And probably classic NBA, classic WWE, current football.
No, it'd be nice. I mean, I had a card that I traded. I actually traded a. I don't know if it was I think it's a good trade. I think it was a very good trade actually. We were at a card show in Hungary, in Budapest. Mad. We get around a bit, to be fair. So we were at a card show in Hungary, in Budapest, and I'd brought I don't know if you'd ever seen it before, but it was the R9 Deco card.
Yes.
Instead of having the auto of Cristiano Ronaldo, instead of having the auto of Ronaldo on R9, it had Cristiano Ronaldo's auto on. So quite a rare, unique card, something that's quite, you're probably not going to make that mistake again. That probably costs them quite a bit of money.
Stupid mistake.
Stupid mistake. I get it though. I imagine the stickers, and again we go into on cards, but I imagine the stickers say this is a pile for Ronaldo. And they've just gone Ronaldo.
It's so different.
They are so different. They are so different. But I can imagine, whoever's just sticking,
they're just mindlessly.
Yeah, it's just that one.
It's an easy mistake to make when you're in that mindset. I guess,
But anyway, so I traded that, and I really wanted to get a high end basketball card. Ended up picking up a Kobe auto on card.
Was it immaculate?
No, I can't remember what set it was from. But that was one. I actually ended up moving it on in the end, which is a bit of a shame. But it's one of them things that I wanted at that moment. And then I realised this is a couple of grand card. I probably should move this on because got bills to pay.
Yeah, you have to think with your head though, innit? Like
that's it. Really that moment of time that you don't.
Yeah, you never do.
You see it and you go, oh yeah. And it will go up in price and it will do this and I'll be able to sell this for that. And then you go, I probably just need to move on.
I was at the London Card Show. Some guy, I've seen him he was at the Kaboom trade show that I went to a while ago, and he was at the London Card Show, and I saw it was like a booklet. I think it was it was a relic book. It was a weird one. Like it was two-folded. It had Ruud van Nistelrooy, a picture with a bit of his game-worn shirt and an on-card auto. I don't know where it was from, but he let me touch it and hold it and, talk to it.
Was it the Real Madrid one?
Yeah.
I've seen it.
So that, he told me it was like 100, 200 quid. And I thought, you know what? When I make something of this, I'm just going to
go for it.
Yeah, because it's like, I'm not thinking with my head and like, how much is that going to be worth? Because realistically, it's only going to be worth when the worst happens in the world. And I don't want to think about that or put that out there. I just want to have it in my collection. And I think like, that's the best thing, isn't it? You do end up, I buy with my heart a lot of the time. Yeah, I'm getting towards buying with my head as I learn more, which is what the Hobby FC journey will sort of take people through. But I'll never lose that. Yeah. I just love him. I want him. And I'm
that was me with Harry Kane. It was any Harry Kane card that I like the look at. I mean, one of the ones I got upstairs has got a bit of his England badge in there, which I just think is so cool.
Yeah,
you look
really
at that
cool.
and you go, he's worn that in a game.
Yeah.
That's a real good memory.
Yep.
But then I tried to be clever with that, and I was like, okay, I know he's probably going to move on one day.
Yep.
Should I buy the Tottenham version of that card,
or
should I go for the England one and play it safe?
Yeah.
So I went for the England one, and it gives me a little bit more potential sell on value if I ever did. Just as that kind of backup and protection. I would be gutted if I did.
Yeah.
But I also know deep down, I'm like, okay, if ever times fell hard or anything along the lines of that, or had a baby on the way or something along the lines of that, you go, yep, you know what, I'll sell that and that'll pay for that. So I think that's one thing. Being a little bit smart with that. The one thing that I think you spoke about booklets there.
Yeah.
Now they are slept on in my mind.
They are mad.
They're so nice.
Absolutely mad, yeah.
But I think people think they're so awkward. We actually grade booklets now. So we've got I think we've got the best booklet case in the world, really.
Yeah.
A lot of the other booklet cases are quite big, bulky, they don't really fit in very well. I'll show you one that we had in yesterday. We had a Lionel Messi and a Erling Haaland dual patch, dual auto booklet. Insane.
On card or?
Not on card.
Okay, yeah, but still.
It's incredible. Stickered autos. Hopefully it's still upstairs. It's not been sent on the post, but I'll show you it. It's very, very cool. But I think our booklet case is amazing. I think that's one thing that hopefully we could be able to do now is showcase people booklets better. Because at the moment, all people do is they have them tucked away in a top loader. It's all like sellotaped up. You can't really showcase it or display it. It doesn't look the best.
No, we need to get better at that, to be honest.
Yeah. So I think we've got, I think one of the graders is just about to walk in and hand over the card to us.
Why am I nervous? I'm actually nervous.
I'm nervous as well because if this has gone wrong,
it could, like, I have done it knowing that it could.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't the best quality, but it's just a nice card.
I'm gonna pass it there so you can see obviously the it's on there. Yeah. So you just undo the bottom.
Oh my god.
It's the back of it. My fingers are crossed for you.
Okay. Oh, I just got a riff on it. Shall I show it there first?
I think show it to the camera and then turn it and show your face reaction. See what your thoughts are.
All right. So that's that there. You see it? You see it on there?
Yep.
Oh, I'll take that.
It's not bad, is it?
I will absolutely take that. That is absolutely fine with me. I was in my head, I said 7 or higher, and I'd be happy with. Oh, that's my first card graded. That is so cool.
Not bad at all.
I love that, actually.
So how old is that card? When's that from?
Oh, so 2002.
2002.
So that was his first season with us. So I'm right. Topps Premier Gold.
Is my maths terrible? Is that 22 years ago?
22. Yeah.
That's 22 years old.
I was 5.
You were 5. Wow. That is crazy.
That's nuts. And I know it's like we have museums that have thousands of years old thing, but this has just been in a pack for 22 years. And then like I'll admit it now, I've done what people have told me not to do, which is I didn't actually pack this.
Yep.
I saw it on eBay and someone sold it for 99p and it's been graded for this. And the pop is not high.
No, it's not going to be high at all.
Sell it, but
still pretty cool that a card that's 22 years old has got, a grade 8. Obviously it's graded from 10 to 8. So, 10 to 1, but obviously 8 being quite high there. I think that's
for this level of card as well. I just said I bought a PSA 7 Robin just for the lols. Like this is, thank you for this. This is actually
no worries.
Really
well,
sick.
I hope it obviously goes on to that shelf display thing in the bedroom.
100 is going right at the top. Don't worry about
hopefully
that.
your girlfriend doesn't mind seeing that on there as well. It'd be quite
no,
cool.
she gets it. Oh, she fully understands. I
love it.
Yeah, love you. But she gets it. So this is like,
cool.
Oh, I'm buzzing. I'm gonna be staring at this all the way on the train on the way home.
Nice one, man. Appreciate it.
No, I appreciate you guys, man. Thank you. This is sick.
So look, we'll end it there. Dev, thank you for coming on the podcast today. I hope you enjoyed it. Guys, check out Hobby FC. I think it's Hobby FC Gram, isn't it?
On Instagram.
Hobby FC Gram on Instagram. I guarantee you will enjoy yourself. The videos are great. The content's amazing. So check it out. Check out the website as well. And obviously, seeing what the plans you have in the future and things like that. In terms of ourselves, drop us a follow on Instagram, MGC_UK. For all your grading needs, feel free to get in contact with us and we'll be able to help you with that. Thanks a lot, guys.